So I'm calling this session Ask the CTO. And it's really a way to kind of just talk through these problems. They're hard problems. They're often problems you don't get a chance to sit down and talk to Camille Fournier, who is the former CTO of Rent the Runway. She's also a VP at Goldman Sachs, has been involved in tech for a long time and thinks about these problems really intently and mindfully and wants to help people really be better at their jobs. And we met Michael Lopp earlier this morning, Rands, as he's formerly known as, or often known as, also known as, is, obviously Apple and Pinterest and Palantir. So he too has seen various types of teams and companies. And I know a number of you in the room work for and have worked for a number of interesting companies. So I'm going to start here with basically just asking off the bat, what was one of your most worst days at work? Because I will just say one day I got to work at a previous job, previous life, and I was reaching for the doorknob and I was just like, I can't turn this doorknob. And I realized I had to find another job and move on. And that I could easily list all the problems that were mine and all the problems of their companies. And I just realized at that point, this is time. And so one of the hardest days for me was my boss saying, well, I figured you're gonna leave because you are so unhappy. I'm like, well, why didn't you ever do anything about that? And here you work yourself up the day before you quit a job and you're like really nervous and you're going in, you're like, what am I possibly gonna say? Oh my God, what if they give me a counteroffer? How am I gonna get out of that? But there are other really bad days to have at work. So how about that?
This is a question of how honest I want to be on camera. I've definitely had some bad days at work. So one of my more regretful days at work was a day when I had two people resign on me. And the way that this went basically was I came in and this woman asked to speak to me and I said, okay. And she tells me that she's leaving and her last day will be Friday of that week. And she happens to be an engineer that's working on a very critical project that is due to launch 2 weeks after that, something like that, very, very shortly thereafter. And now, in retrospect, this should not have been surprising that she was leaving. It was actually, by and large, it was due to some visa things, and there had been some problems going on, and it's sort of a complicated story. But the fact that she was told